The Ford Mustang Mach-E is now absolutely insanely cheap. You can get them for about $36,000 in China and in the US. That, my friends, means they are clearly on par with gasoline-powered vehicles. I mean, you can't really debate that. $36,000 US. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Looking forward to seeing you, as many of you as possible, at Fully Charged Live in Sydney, and of course in London as well in April, in October in San Diego. Thank you to our patrons. Really appreciate what you do. Couldn't really do this without you. If you'd like to become a patron, I'll put a link in the description. YouTube members, thank you to you as well. Ford Mustang Mach-E. Price was reduced pretty significantly in the United States not long ago, obviously as a direct response to Tesla reducing the price of the Model Y and of course the Model 3 as well. Ford lowered the price of the Mach-E in February by an average of $4,500 US, and that's in spite of the fact they still didn't make a profit on it, right? They weren't making a profit on the Mach-E before. Then they lowered the price by $4,500 US. Price reductions range from $600 to $5,900. Now, the one model that didn't get that big of a price reduction was the base variant. The base spec now costs $45,995 US. That's the cheapest one. But of course, you can then get the $7,500 electric vehicle incentive. And I have seen many Ford Mustang Mach-E's in the rear-wheel drive spec selling for around $44,000 US. Yeah, it makes it around about a $37,000 US car, which is crazy. Actually, really good value, incredibly good value. But in China, well, they're even cheaper. Now the base version is just a straight $36,000 before any incentives. And there are many incentives in different states depending on where you are. They haven't just abolished them all. They do exist as well right now. So why have Ford done this? Well, Tesla have just created an insane storm, both in the United States and in China, and automakers have been forced to reduce the prices of their cars. A lot of them have said, no, we're not going to do it. No, we won't. No, we're following our own path here. And then quietly, a month later, they reduce the price. Is it just Ford that is doing this? Absolutely not. I mean, Toyota has reduced the prices of their cars much more so. For example, the BZ4X, that costs only $24,000 US, and it's actually on sale for $20,000 US in some cities, depending on which factory makes. There's two different factories that are making that car. One of them is selling them at just dirt cheap prices. Then you got the brand new Toyota BZ3, which has actually gone on sale, discounted price already by $4,000 US, plus you get lifetime free servicing. There's just a storm going on right now. Electric vehicle prices are coming down. It's absolutely a perfect time to buy one. By the end of the year, though, they'll probably be even cheaper. And I mentioned why that is. There's actually 4 really good reasons why that's going to happen. I'll put a link in the description to my video about that. How are Ford actually, not losing money on these cars? Well, they are losing money. They say they want to offset some of the profit shrink with cost improvement thanks to the additional production. So they're making more cars, therefore they can make them cheaper, as well as a reduction in some commodity costs. Now that is true. Lithium prices have gone down significantly, and battery companies are now selling batteries at a significantly lower price than this time last year. The Mach-E starting price is quite a bit cheaper than the Tesla Model Y starting price. I mean, for example, the Model Y starts at around $53,000 US in the US, but the Mach-E starts at 46. So that's around about a $7,000 US difference, but they're not really comparable, to be fair. The base model Mach-E has significantly lower spec than the base model Tesla Model Y. Now, there's another way that Ford plans on actually being able to reduce the cost of these cars so they're not losing $10,000 per car, which is what my estimates are. Based on the fact that Ford said that they were actually losing money on the Mach-E a year ago, even 6 months ago, even only a matter of a couple of months ago, and then they go and reduce the prices by this much, means they're losing even more. But there is a strategy that they have. However, before I talk about that, in China, Ford, whilst they just discounted their prices, they actually discounted their prices a few months ago. In fact, at the end of October last year, after Tesla lowered their prices, Ford lowered their prices as well. On the 24th of October 2022, Tesla significantly cut the price of the entire Model 3 and Model Y lineup in China, and then Ford lowered the price of the Mustang Mach-E by as much as RMB 28,000. That's around $5,000 US. Plus, now you've got an additional $5,000 US discount, right? The truth is, Ford in China, they've actually reduced the price of the Mach-E by more than $10,000 US in the last 4 months alone. That is huge. So how are they going to actually offset these costs? Well, the answer is lithium iron phosphate battery packs. It's believed Ford can get those for 30 to 40% less than they pay for the current battery pack in the Mach-E. And the weirdest thing about all of this is the fact that Ford didn't do this in the first place. Ford used BYD as their battery manufacturer for the Mach-E in China. And BYD, 98% of the batteries they produce are lithium iron phosphate. And yet Ford said, no, Ford. Ford said, no, BYD, we don't want lithium iron phosphate batteries. Those are for the idiots. Those are, I don't know what Ford were thinking. And they said, no, we want your lithium ternary batteries. And BYD's like, okay, you can have them. We don't want them. You have them. Take them. Take them all. Take every one of them. They didn't really say that, but yeah. Ford now recognized the fact that lithium iron phosphate batteries are safer, more reliable, last longer, much cheaper. What's not to like? Plus, it'll help them offset some of the massive losses they'll be making on every single Mach-E they sell. Make no mistake, this is not some YouTuber telling you, hey, Ford's making a loss on their cars. Be sensational. Watch my channel. It's not about that. Simply objective. Jim Farley, the CEO of the company, has admitted Ford made a loss on the Mach-E. I mean, that was 6 months ago. Then Ford reduced the price by $10,000 US. Do you think they're making a gain now? I don't think so. Yes, lithium iron phosphate batteries definitely help Ford, and they'll help consumers. They're a win-win for Ford and consumers. But if you're in China, if you're in the US right now, if you're in Europe, where the Model Y is now like 42,000 euros, well, you can go buy an EV now for pretty much the same price as a gasoline-powered car. This is the year, my friends. I've said it since the start of the year. I even said it at the beginning of last year, and I said at the end of last year, this is the year for electric cars. This is the year when gas cars will become undesirable, completely undesirable. Resale values will plummet. If you have one, get rid of it. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Bye-bye.